Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Pascal, and in this channel, I'm going to talk about how you can build your online business. And we're going to particularly focus on affiliate marketing. And this video today, I will discuss why that is. Now, I'm going to share my progress. I'm going to document everything that I'm doing. I will share tactics and strategies that are currently working for me in my business. So if these kinds of topics are of interest to you and you're interested in building your own business online, then please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button, because I will be releasing content on a regular basis on everything related to affiliate marketing. And you can see that even a beginner can do this as long as they have the right plan. Now, in today's video, I'm going to start talking about what's the best beginner-friendly type of business you should consider, because I have to say that there are a lot of different types of online businesses that one can do. And to be honest, all of them work as long as you pick something and then you just run with it. But even if they work, some of them might be less beginner friendly than others, right? So this is why I thought it was important to do this type of video, so you can make a better decision depending on the pros and cons and all that kind of stuff. I wish I had this type of content available for me when I was getting started, because I did try different types of businesses and I did not pursue it to the point where it became profitable. So this is one extremely important aspect that you need to understand, that you need to be able to focus on one thing and just run with it. So I'm going to cover different types of businesses. In order to do this, we're going to have to jump into my computer screen. And I apologize in advance because my webcam for some reason doesn't want to work. I've been troubleshooting it like for a half hour before shooting this video, but I decided to just do the content, and I'll try to fix it later on. So that being said, guys, let's jump into my screen. All right, guys, welcome to my screen. So without further ado, let's dive into the content. So this is how we're going to do this, guys. I'm going to talk about some of the options available out there, and we're going to go over the pros and cons. And at the end of each, we're going to draw a verdict, whether it's beginner friendly or not. Okay, so the first one in line is freelancing services. Now, if you have like a set of skills that you're particularly good at, then you can take those skills and offer your services in websites like freelance.com or fiverr.com. There are others, but these are the two that I'm familiar with. There's one called Uphold also. I mean, I at some point did some gigs on Fiverr. So this is how they call the jobs, gigs. If you go on one of these sites, and if you're not familiar with them, then you'll be surprised to see the plethora of options available. I mean, the different types of jobs that people are offering and that people are asking for as well. You can do anything from WordPress hosting, website designs, logo design, like social media packages. If you want someone to design your cover pages for your Facebook page or your YouTube channel. If you're good at like video editing, you can do jobs like that over there. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, you just have to go there and look, right? So if you have any skill set of the sort, you can definitely start there and start offering your services and start generating some income. So some of the pros is that you can make money pretty fast because once you get someone who's interested in the job that you have to offer, so the price will be determined by the complexity of the job. On Fiverr, they start at $5 and up. On freelance, they're a little bit more expensive. Then once you get a job, you just complete it in the time frame, and then you get paid. I mean, it's as easy as it gets. And then you set up your own hours. Obviously, I mean, you're on your own. I mean, you get the job, you work on it whenever you want. I mean, if you're busy during the day and then you want to work on it at night, I know some people who do that, and you can go ahead and do this. One of the pros is that you can learn skills that you will use later in your own business. So what I mean is that it's, for example, you know that your the business that you plan on doing in the future is like blogging, right? So if you learn skills on how to host websites and everything related to building that website, then this is a skill that you can offer your services on these sites and then later on use on your own business. So this is what I mean by that. Now, some of the cons are you're still selling time for money. I mean, it's like you're your own boss, but you have a job, right? I mean, you get paid for the time that you put in to do the job. It's hard to scale. I mean, you're only one guy. I mean, there's a limit on the number of jobs that you can take, right? I mean, if you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by taking a number of jobs that you cannot complete either in time or to the quality standard that you're supposed to deliver the job. You might get potential bad clients because you're going to deal with people, all right? So you might end up with a difficult client, so you have to be ready to deal with these sort of things. And like I said before, it's another job and it takes a lot of time. I mean, some people they do like some sort of like of agencies where they have a group of people with different skill sets, and then so they offer their services as a company. So if this could be a way that you could scale it. So the verdict for this one is I think it's beginner friendly because, I mean, if you have the skills and you know that you can deliver the job that's being asked for, then all you have to do is go on the website, you sign up for an account, set up your payment thing. Usually it's PayPal for these things. And then you're good to go. You just take as many jobs as you want and you start generating some income. So this is definitely beginner friendly in my opinion. Now, the next one is coaching and consulting. I haven't done any coaching and consulting, but I mean, this is pretty straightforward. If you have experience or expertise that people desire to learn, then you can offer your coaching services to either individuals or groups. All right. So the pros is if you do group coaching, then you can leverage your time. I mean, you can have a group of people that you're coaching together, and then you get group payment instead of doing like one-on-one, which is not scalable. Big ticket commissions. I mean, you can, depending on what type of coaching that you're offering, then you can charge pretty hefty price. The cons are you definitely need to have some prior knowledge or experience. I mean, it's definitely not recommended. If you don't know anything about what you plan on coach people about, then you should not do that. I mean, I've heard people who do that because they heard that they can just charge people like big ticket, and then they just go ahead and offer their services when they don't have the experience. Marketing knowledge is required because you're going to have to sell yourself. For people to be able to choose you over another coach, then you're going to need to know how to market yourself. And as I mentioned before, one-on-one is not scalable with this type of business. For this one, I think it's not beginner friendly because you need very special expertise in a particular area to do this. So this would not be something I would qualify as beginner friendly. Now we have selling information products. Like this is a billion dollar industry. If you have the experience and expertise, then you can create like pre-recorded videos and package them into a course, and then you create a membership site and sell it to a group of people, right? So let's go over the pros. This is very scalable because you do the work once, and then you just get as many clients as possible to your course. It has high margins because this is an information product. I mean, you create, let's say it's a video course. You just create the video course once, and then whenever someone goes ahead and buys your course, this is pure profit. It's different from selling physical products where you need to have inventory and there are different costs associated. This one is pure profit. Obviously, you're going to have like some marketing costs and stuff like that, but you get the idea. Time leverage, like for the same reason, you create the product once and then that's it. I mean, there's not much management involved in that. I mean, you might have, for example, if you create a Facebook group where you give some sort of support to your subscribers, then yeah, there will be some management involved there. So the cons is you might have some headache with the customer support, but what people usually do is one, they start scaling, they outsource the customer support, so they have a company that does that for them, or they might hire some VAs to handle that. You definitely need to have marketing knowledge required to promote your product and sell yourself as a known quote-unquote expert in the area you're covering in your course. You will need some technical knowledge to like create the course, package it, do the video editing and all that stuff. But usually what people hire someone to do this type of jobs, I mean, if you don't have the skills, the required technical skills, and you don't want to go through the learning curve, then you can definitely hire someone to do that for you. And also once you create the course, you're going to have to update the content, right? I mean, if you have a course and then a year goes by, 2 years, 3 years, then you're going to need to freshen the content from time to time. So you're going to have to re-record the videos and keep your content like updated. This one is definitely not beginner friendly because you need a ton of experience on the topic that you're going to build the course over. I mean, if you're just starting out, I mean, I would not recommend going for selling information product because there are a lot of things involved, not just in the creation of the course, but the marketing, management, customer service, customer support, and all that stuff. Okay. So these are things that you need to take into consideration. E-commerce, one of my favorites. There are different types of e-commerce. One of them is drop shipping. So drop shipping, is basically you selling physical products, and you have your store, your online store, and you don't buy the product until someone makes a purchase on your store. So the way it works is you have an agreement with a supplier. Usually these suppliers are in China, like sites like AliExpress provide these types of services. If you go to aliexpress.com, you can see a list of different types of products in all possible niches, right? And you decide which product you want to go with, and then you just go ahead and put them in your store. And when people visit your store and make a purchase, then you go ahead and fulfill that order, and then you ship not you actually, the supplier ships the product directly to the customer, and then you make a commission. So the pros is that you don't need to show your face. I mean, if you're considering doing online business and then you're a bit introverted and you don't want to show your face to the internet, then yeah, this could be a good option for you. It's easy to get started because you're not going to have to buy any inventory. I mean, the setup is pretty simple. You usually build a online shop using a software tool called Shopify. You can look it up, where that will allow you to create your store online where you can start offering your products. Cons is ad costs can be very high before finding a winning product. All right, so what do I mean by that? This type of business, they use, like, you have different types of products available, right? But the way I've seen it work, and full disclosure, I know about dropshipping, but I haven't built a store. So I mean, if you have like anything you want to add on this, then you can always put it in the comment. But I'm telling you based on what I understand and how I know this business works. Right. So it's like you're riding trends with successful products, right? So basically, you're going to have to test different products to see which ones are getting traction from the prospects. So, and the way that works is when you pick a product, and then the platform of choice that I see people use is Facebook ads, and they start running ads to this product, and then if the product picks up, and then you start getting sales velocity, and then you scale this product by increasing your ad budget, and you sell until you reach a point where you reach a plateau, and then it starts declining. But the thing is, you're going to have to constantly test different products, and you might be spending a lot of money before you find one that takes off. But once you find the one that takes off, then it will easily cover all your advertising costs and more, right? So this is what I mean. This one has low profit margins because basically, so what I see people do when they find a product on AliExpress, so they usually triple the price because to cover the price of the product itself and cover the cost of advertising. And usually they add some shipping costs on that also. Some people do free shipping, others don't, right? So when you take all of these off, I mean, usually we're talking about 20%, 25% profit margin. Again, guys, if you have experience in this and then you want to chime in on that in the comments, then I welcome your comments. High competition because of the low barrier of entry. Because it's such an easy business model to set up. I mean, anyone can go ahead and enter the market and start selling. So the competition is very, very high. Well, and you have high shipping time, up to 30 to 45 days. Usually people, sellers on their site, they clearly mention that you have to expect at least 30 days for your product to arrive, because the product is coming from China and being shipped over to the US. Most people, that buy are in the US. Some people, it's worldwide, but the typical example is in the US, right? So they have a service called ePacket that ships it faster. But usually, we're in the range of the 30 days, 45 days maximum. You have possibility of lots of customer complaints. A lot of times, because most sellers, they don't buy the products in advance to test the quality. They just find the product and then when they start selling. So there's no quality control that has been done on the product. And usually the customer ends up being the one finding if there's an issue or not with the product. Potential issues with the suppliers. The suppliers, if you find a supplier, most likely they're not going to tell you if... all right, let me put it this way. Let's say you find a supplier and the supplier has a product, right? And then you start testing, and then you realize that the product has traction, and then you decide, all right, so I'm going to scale this one. I'm going to increase my ad spend. But before you do that, then you need to notify your supplier to know whether they have sufficient stock to be able to handle the orders. But most suppliers are not going to tell you if they don't have, because they want to sell, right? So this is the type of issues you might encounter. You start scaling, and then you realize that your supplier cannot handle the load. Shopify controls the platform. I've seen cases where out of the blue, Shopify sends an email to the shop owner telling them that the type of business they're doing is not according to their standards, and they're going to have to shut the store down. Possible issues with payment gateways like Stripe and PayPal. Again, I've seen Stripe, and recently a lot of cases where PayPal just shuts people's account down without any explanation and without being able to reopen it. The need to manually fulfill orders and possible scalability issues. Well, I already talked about the scalability issue. Now, for the manual, when someone places an order on your store, then you're going to have to go to AliExpress and manually place the order for the supplier to ship it. So usually this type of task they outsource. You just hire a VA, you train the VA, and then they handle these kind of things for you. So the verdict for this one is beginner friendly, I think, because of the fact that it's very easy to set up. The only thing I would worry, not worry, but the only concern that you could have is the potential ad cost that you have to be able to support until you find a winning product. So next in line, still in e-commerce, we have selling products with Amazon FBA. All right, so this type is online and retail arbitrage, right? So the way this works is you have arbitrage is like buying a product on one marketplace and selling it on the other marketplace for a profit. So this is basically how it works. And the difference between online and retail is that retail, you actually go to the store and shop for products, and online is you just do it online. You don't ever have to touch the product. You buy it directly from the first marketplace. When I say marketplace, I'm talking about stores like Walmart, the Targets that have like frequent deals where you can buy the product at a very cheap price, and then you sell it at a regular price or a higher price on Amazon, and you pocket the profit. So the pros: again, you don't need to show your face, and that's obvious. You need very little money to get started. I mean, you're going to need to buy some inventory, of course, because you're going to buy the products and set them up to ship on Amazon. I mean, you can. I mean, I've seen some people start with like $100. I mean, I've personally done this, and I started with like as little as like $500. So you can definitely do this, and then you keep compounding that. If you don't have a lot of money, like if you don't want to dip into your credit cards to buy inventory, then you can start with a small amount and keep compounding it until you reach a certain level. No advertising needed, because the way it works on Amazon is like when you buy the product is already selling, right? So you're gonna have a criteria, a list of parameters to pick your products, and then the product is already selling. So all you're doing is you're one additional seller who's selling that same product. So when I don't know if you're familiar with the Amazon platform, but on the right side you have what they call the buy box, right? And then when a customer comes and click on the add to cart, then whoever wins that buy box is the one that's going to get the sale. So it's like you have a pool of sellers, and Amazon algorithm just distributes the sale among the sellers. So there's no advertising needed there, because when someone comes on Amazon, they already come with the intent of buying something. So they just do their search, and then they just go ahead and click add to cart and they buy, right? So for this, you don't need advertising, and there's no manual fulfillment, which is brilliant, because all you have to do is buy the product, put the labels on them, and package them, and ship them to Amazon, and then Amazon takes care of the fulfillment. That's why they call it Fulfillment by Amazon, FBA. This type of business model, it works well if you systemize it and you automate it. I mean, you start doing it yourself, and then you learn all the process, and then you document your process, and then you hire VAs and you train them to do the task that you are doing, and you establish your procedures, your work procedures, and all that stuff. So if you have if you do systemize your business, then you can scale it very easily. So the cons, the profit margins are pretty low on that one also, because you have to there's the product cost, then you have to ship it there. You have some shipping costs. Like if you're doing the prepping yourself, then you're still gonna have to buy the material to prep it. But some people, for example, I was hiring a prep center that would prep the products for me for $1.25. So this is a cost that you need to add, and then Amazon is going to take their fees also. So you have to do your product research correctly to properly price your products for it to make sense. You have a high competition because of low barrier to entry, and that's pretty obvious. I mean, you don't need to be highly skilled to do this type of business. Amazon controls the platform. I mean, you have to be extremely careful and abide by the rules of Amazon, because if you do something incorrectly, they can just shut down your account, and you have to come up with a plan to get your account reinstated. You need to have very good cash flow management skills, and you need to be good with numbers. I mean, you're going to have to run with a lot of Excel spreadsheets, so you need to know how to manage. When you sell something, you start receiving profits, so you need to be able to manage your money properly. What goes into inventory? How do you pay the people you're hiring? I mean, you need to be able to manage this properly. So Verdict here is very beginner friendly. I mean, I like this type of business. I mean, you can, if you do it properly, it can be a good it can provide some good cash for you. Now, one of the things I noticed is, like with selling physical products, like you have the sales velocity varies depending on the season, right? So in some season you're gonna have high sales, and others you're gonna have like very low sales. Q4 is known to be the most profitable for all online sellers. All right, so still in e-commerce, we have still selling physical products with Amazon FBA, but this type of business is the private label. Now, private label it's like you're buying a product from a provider. The provider can be in China, for example, but you before you buy it, you customize it. I mean, you might make some modification on the design. You create your label with your logo and all that stuff, and then you slap it on the product. And because you made that change, this product is ultimately yours, right? I mean, you're the only one who's selling it because all the design and all that stuff involved is all yours, right? Now, it's a bit different than the online arbitrage, and we're going to see why. So the pros is you definitely don't need to show your face on that one. Same reason, higher profit margins because you have control over the price. Online arbitrage, you're gonna have to be selling at around the same price that everybody else is selling. But in this model, because the product is actually yours, so you have full control on what type of price you want to ask. So you have full control of the product. No manual fulfillment because it's FBA. And then for the cons, you might have a high inventory cost to get started. Usually people start with 100 units, and this can easily go to up to, I don't know, between $3,000 to $5,000 for inventory if you're getting started. Or depending on the product, obviously, because there's not only the cost of the product involved, but you're going to have to do quality pictures of the product. You're going to have to do like design, packaging, and all that stuff. So these add up, right? In order to get your product on the first page on Amazon, you're going to have to do like product launch, and sometimes these are costly because what you do is when you're launching the product, you're offering it at a deep discount. Some people even do like 90% discount. So can you imagine you spend all that money and you have your product ready, like 100 units, and then you have to sell, I don't know, maybe 25 or 50% of them at a very deep discount just for you to be able to rank it. And when I say rank, I mean when you go on Amazon and you search for something, usually you find the product you're going to buy on the first page. You rarely go on the second page or even the third. So this is what I mean by ranking. You need to be able to get your product to show on the first page. And in order to do that, you have to increase sales velocity. And sales velocity means selling product. And since you're new, no one knows about your product, then you need to offer it. You need to create that sales velocity. And people usually do that by doing deep discounts. So possible high advertising costs, because inside of Amazon, you have an advertising platform that you use to run ads on there. And if you know what you're doing, then you can definitely run a profit. But if you don't, then yeah, it might become a bit high of a cost for you. Amazon controls the platform. Yeah, same thing as online arbitrage, where you need to have very good cash flow management and be good with numbers. To me, this is not beginner friendly because it might be an appealing business model, but if you want to go that route with e-commerce by doing Amazon FBA, I would suggest starting with online arbitrage first. Get to know the platform, get to know how things work, generate some cash, and then you take your profits and then you invest into a private label type of business. Now, not a lot of people talk about this, but this is something I definitely considered, and I'm actually a trader myself. I mean, I do trade. the financial markets, in particular the forex market. Well, before, let me talk about what this is before going into details. Now, any marketplace where you have buyers and sellers that are trading an asset is considered a financial market. So the asset can be like equities, bonds, currencies. In the currencies market, we have the foreign exchange market where people are trading currency like the US dollar, the British pound, the Japanese yen. And we have a new type of, well, it's not new, but fairly new, like the crypto currency trading that a lot of people are doing right now. My experience is in forex trading, which is why I wanted to add this in there, because you might encounter this option if you want to get started making money online. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. To pros, I mean, it's great for wealth building. I mean, once you learn the skill and you master it, I mean, you can generate some interesting returns on your money and keep compounding and create great wealth. You don't have to show your face. I mean, because you're just sitting in front of a computer and then you're trading. This is one of the reasons I was attracted to this one. You don't need marketing skills unless you're considering doing your forex course, for example, which a lot of people are doing. Then you don't need any marketing skills. You just sit there and then you trade. And yes, when you master the skill, you can make a lot of money. Okay, obviously. The cons, well, it requires extreme patience, because one of the things you're going to encounter in there is that when you see that when you first see like trading, you're thinking, okay, so all I need to do is know when to buy and know when to sell, right? And then you might have beginner's luck, and this is the worst thing that can happen to you, because when you're lucky in the beginning, you think that you have a skill, and then you lose your shirt later on, right? So it requires patience to learn and master the skills. You need to master your emotions. I mean, the market is when you're looking at a chart, this is human emotions that are being painted on the chart. So these are people that, I mean, the two main emotions that you have in the market are fear and greed. I mean, people are afraid sometimes and take decisions based on their fear, and people are greedy and want to make more money and are taking decisions based on their greed. All right, so you definitely need to master your emotions when trading. It requires discipline and consistency, because what's going to happen is you're going to need to have a very detailed trading plan and apply this plan consistently until you master it and never deviate. I mean, I don't want to go into deep details in this, but what you need to do is get an edge on the market, and once you find that edge and you develop a strategy on that, and then you just need to keep being consistent. It's like the casino, right? The casinos, I mean, you can spend the night there. I mean, you might get someone who wins one time, but over time, the casino is the one being the winner, because they have an edge on the probabilities. It requires a lot of practice and time to master the skill. So I think I elaborated enough on that. Verdict is not beginner friendly. Definitely not beginner friendly. I mean, I love it. I love trading the market. So this is why I developed this skill. I mean, I keep trading to master the skill. But if you're just getting started, I wouldn't consider this as a beginner friendly type of business you want to do online. Now, last but not least, affiliate marketing. This is one of my favorites, right? because this is referral marketing where you actually get a commission when you sell a product. I mean, you need a great product, you need a sales funnel and marketing training. So basically the way it works is you have, I'll do a separate video on that just for beginners, but you have companies that creates products, and then all you have to do is refer the product to someone who actually needs it. And when someone buys the product and you're the one who referred the product, then you get a commission. So the pros, you have no customer support because all these customer support stuff is being handled by the owner of the company. Very little stress. You have no product fulfillment. I mean, all you're doing is referring the product to someone who needs it. And then the company deals with everything else. Customer service. These are digital products in most cases, right? Unless you're doing like affiliate marketing with Amazon, for example. Amazon has an affiliate program for physical products, but even if you're doing this, you're not the one dealing with the fulfillment. Everything is handled by the company, right? Very easy to get started. I mean, all you need to do is sign up for the program, and that's it, nothing else. The cons is you have no control over the product. So what this means is if something happens to the company and then that might affect the product, I mean, this is something you have no control over. You can start promoting a product and something happens, and then the product is no longer available, and that might affect your relationship with your customers. You need to have marketing knowledge because you need to know how to promote your product. So there might be a little learning curve there, but nothing too extraordinary. If done incorrectly, then you don't build assets. And by assets, I'm talking about like stuff like brand and email list. I'm going to go over these and other videos, but one of the strategies that I use is building my brand to build a relationship with my audience, and then by doing that, they get to trust me, and then I get to refer them products that they need, and because they trust me, then they buy it from me. And also, you have to structure your business in a way that you get your customers' emails in your email list, so you can keep constant communication with them. All right. Need to show your face. Well, in order for you to do affiliate marketing the right way, you're going to need to show your face, man. I mean, you're going to have to build your brand. People are going to, in order for people to know you, then ultimately you're going to need to show your face. I mean, I was scared shitless to do videos in the beginning, but I had to work on myself, and I took the decision to just dive in and start doing these videos, because now not only is the high skill thing a high skill for one to own, but it will definitely play and it will definitely pay off in the future and in your efforts to build your brand. And this is very beginner friendly. I mean, the only thing is you're going to need to have some training, right? I mean, because if you're new to this, there are different topics that you're going to need to get used to, different concepts like sales funnels, email marketing and all that stuff. And there will be some training involved. But if you decide to go ahead and learn that stuff and you do it correctly, then it's just a matter of pushing it until you get results, right? So this is one of my favorites, and this is what I would recommend someone to get started with if you're a beginner. All right, guys. By the way, if you want to know more about this, and you need more details on how to do this correctly, I will put a link on the description of this video so you can check it out. go ahead and it's a video course. You can go through it, and then you will get a training that spans over 4 days, where you will get all the details on how to set this up and get started. All right. Okay, guys. So this has been a long video. So I hope you got some value from this. If you did, then I'd appreciate if you hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully the next one won't be that long. All right, guys. So remember, keep taking action and just try to get 1% better every single day. See you in the next video. Bye.